we casting to Facebook Live right now?
Not yet. I am now recording.
I like the question marks.
It's appropriate for the show.
I mean, I
Very
could
mysterious.
put something up there like the obsolete host or, you know.
I think it's perfect the way it is.
Question marks are great.
Yeah, great.
Question marks are pretty good.
Or I could just put vote 2020. I mean, there's all sorts.
Hashtag vote never go wrong.
I'll find an excuse to use this at some point.
I like it.
Oh, cute.
That's good.
My light bright.
Is that a light bright?
Yes, it is.
I love it.
Yes.
I wanted one so bad when I was a kid.
Well, I bought this recently at the Strand because I was going to get a new puzzle, and it was like, you know what? If I get this, then it's multiple, whatever. My adult life is mostly just replacing the childhood toys that I loved and I don't have anymore.
You're talking to a person who's owned multiple Slinkies since he graduated college, so don't explain yourself. Just go with it.
We're going to go live in about 2 seconds, and also I apologize, but because of not wanting to get a cease and desist from CBS, I'm calling it Adult Spelling Bee, the 5th Beemension instead of the 5th.
That's cute.
Okay. Hold on to your hats. Okay, there is a 5th dimension beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition. It lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge of spelling. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Adult Spelling Bee.
Yeah!
So welcome back to this week's episode of the Adult Spelling Bee. If you've never been to a show before the pandemic, for the past 2 years, we've been doing it live in both New York and LA. Each week we have a different theme, different players, and the world is a turbulent place. And tonight's theme is something that's always appropriate, but it's October and Halloween is coming. So here we are in the Twilight Zone. Tonight's show is extra special because we have a sponsor. I usually joke that like our sponsor is like doom scrolling or, you know, some sort of random thing, but thank you to Knack Factory. Knack Factory is a commercial and creative production company specializing in video and other forms of dynamic content. You can find out more at knack-factory.com. I feel so cool, I have a sponsor. But so as we get started tonight, I want to introduce my guest judge, a huge Twilight Zone fan, Megan Sass.
Hello. Danielle.
Hi.
So, Megan couldn't make it tonight, but perhaps I could fill in. You might know me from such shows as The Twilight Zone and also Night Gallery. So perhaps I can be of service to you tonight. I am the creator of everyone's favorite television dreamscape, or should I say nightmarescape. It is I, Rod Serling.
Oh my God, hello, Mr. Serling.
Yes.
This is
A blast from the past.
And I definitely do know how to smoke a cigarette. So.
Well, it's impossible for me to choose a favorite episode of your show. I have numerous ones, and they all I love them for various reasons. But Mr. Serling, since you're here with us, can you tell us about some of your top episodes? What are some of your favorite episodes of The Twilight Zone?
Oh my goodness, that's like asking me to choose between my children. But I will say that one of the classics from season 1, Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. Also, The Shelter. Episodes which predicted the horrorscape that you yourselves are living in. I would also mention that I have an hour-long episode in season 4, for season 4 is hour-long episodes, titled He's Alive, where I tried to warn all of you about listening to Nazis. You did not take my advice. You should check out that episode.
You did. I apologize that we didn't listen, but here with us we have 4 contestants for the Spelling Bee that are huge fans of you and the show, and so I'm going to introduce them. First, we have Lizzy Furey, who's an actress and comedian. Once had a tweet go so viral that Lin-Manuel Miranda commented on it.
Oh my God, yeah, I forgot
Actual
about that.
fame.
Oh, it was amazing. Honestly, embarrassingly, I didn't notice that he like retweeted it or whatever, commented on it until it was like during Hamilton heyday, and I would just go to his page and read his tweets. So that's how I didn't see the notification. I just saw that he had it in a very embarrassing, nerdy way.
Oh.
I love it. It was a very funny tweet.
Oh, thank you.
And tonight you are playing for Brand New Congress.
Yes.
Very cool.
Should I talk about Brand New Congress or?
Yeah, go ahead, give us a sentence or two about what.
Okay, yeah, they just it's this organization that you can nominate people who aren't career politicians, haven't held office before, and they kind of support these people through their for their campaigns. And like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was the Brand New Congress. Now Cori Bush, who won a really important primary this year, is also Brand New Congress. Paula Jean Swearingen's another one in West Virginia. It's a really cool organization. We got to get these old folky career politicians out.
Love it.
It's some
New blood.
new blood and new career
new
politicians in place.
progressive blood.
It's what Rod would want for us.
I think so.
Yeah. And Jonathan Lee, who is returning after playing in our Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure Bee. And tonight you were playing for Common Cause.
That's right, Common Cause. They've been around since the 70s. They're a good government and voting rights activist group. Over 1 million active members. They encourage. They're basically a counterpoint to some of these industry-backed think tanks. They push for progressive legislation in some places. Other places it's just anti-corruption efforts and voting rights. So I think they do a lot of really good work, and they deserve all the praise that they've accrued.
Nice. And now let me ask, because you work as a set dresser in TV and film, is there a Twilight Zone episode that you were like, I wish I could have dressed that episode?
Oh man. I mean, there's some really esoteric ones, but oddly enough, I think the Shatner airplane, which was so claustrophobic, would have been really interesting to be a part of, especially considering the technology of the day, the camera size and the nature of the lighting. I think that would have been a real challenge. So it's not like fun, but also like technically interesting.
Yeah, totally. Cool. Ooh, I like that. Okay. And
That's a great one, that if you were doing a stage play and there was a monster off stage, you could say, oh no, there's something in the wing.
Oh, Chuba's humor.
And Benari Poulten, this is your first time playing in the Adult Spelling Bee, but I have heard that you have taught the Twilight Zone.
Yes, I've taught some in short film classes.
That's awesome. That's so neat. So do you have certain episodes that specifically you taught, or just overall like the kind of themes throughout?
Yeah, I mean, some of my favorites have been mentioned, but 2 of my favorites that I have taught and I love teaching are Eye of the Beholder, which is just a classic, start to finish, everything about the way it's shot, the moodiness, the twist, and then and then it continues to twist.
Yeah.
And it's one of those great slow burn episodes that even when you get to the shocking reveal, there's more reveals coming.
Yes.
And it's just a fantastic episode. And I think everything that makes the show great. I also love Time Enough at Last, which sometimes can be a very controversial episode.
Yes.
People.
Yeah.
But I love that episode, and I love teaching it because it really gets into, at the end of the day, the real moral of that story is that you can't run from the world, that, you know, the world, but you can't just hide in your books. You can't hide in, you can't run away from things, that even if the world you live in is terrible, you have to be an active participant,
Right.
You know, in it. And that all evil takes to succeed is for good men to do nothing. So.
Yes, you just reminded me of the one, and now I'm like blanking on the title, but the guy who like wants to exact revenge on people from his childhood, and he like gets them down into a bunker and pretends like that the world has like that there's been like a nuclear bomb, and they literally are just like, we'd still rather go upstairs than like be down here with you. And then he's like hallucinating that the world really did like get destroyed. Yeah, it's so, it's such a good show. I'm gonna probably like binge watch it after we're done here today. God bless Netflix. And Elena, our final contestant, you are a writer, and you're also playing for the Miami Freedom Project. That sounds, I was Googling, it sounded really interesting. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yes, so obviously Florida is a tricky zone, a Twilight Zone, if you will, but the Miami Freedom Project is a group of young Cuban Americans like me, but in Miami, who are working to advocate for progressive values in Miami. And their mantra is eat pastelitos, drink cafecitos, save democracy. So I fully support them. And
totally on board.
Yes.
Sounds like a great weekend.
Oh, and sorry, don't mean to jump in, but I'm playing for the Refugee and Immigrant Center for Education and Legal Services, just in case one thinks out there that I'm not playing for a charity.
Yes, that's right. I forgot to mention that. My bad. But yeah, everyone tonight is playing for some. I got so wrapped up into listening to what you taught and talking about favorite episodes, I forgot about the important part, which is that we're raising money for charity tonight. And before we get to winning, let's start with the rules for round one. Rod, not Megan, sorry, Rod Serling and I will each be giving you a word one at a time. You may ask for a definition and a sample sentence. Each correctly spelled word gets you 1 point. There will be no eliminations in this round. Is everyone ready?
Bring it on.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Round one, first word.
All right, who is going first, Danielle?
Lizzy Furey is going first.
All right,
Okay.
Lizzy, your word is optimistic.
Okay. Could you use it in a sentence, please?
Yes, Danielle, can you use it in a sentence, please?
You know what? Actually, I think, Rod, why don't you go ahead and give her a sentence?
All right. I will tell you what, Lizzy, I have a soft spot for the optimistic endings of The Night of the Meek, The Hunt, and A Penny for Your Thoughts.
Okay. You know, I think I need a little more context. Could I have a definition, maybe?
Yes, optimistic. It is an adjective, hopeful and confident about the future.
Okay.
Also something which none of us are.
True. Okay. Optimistic. This is kind of a long word, but I'm going to say I feel optimistic about me spelling it correctly.
You're stalling. Please spell.
Okay, here I go. OPTIMISTIC.
Correct.
Oh, thank
That
God.
is correct.
Oh,
We're off to a great start.
You were right to be optimistic.
that was stressful. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Next up is Jonathan Lee. And
I'm ready.
your word is mannequin.
Of course, it's mannequin. I mean, for those in the audience who might not know, what is the definition of a mannequin?
A mannequin is a noun, and it is a dummy used to display clothes in a store window.
Okay. And in not a way that I am stalling at all, could you use it in a sentence?
I sure can. I fully blame the episode, The After Hours, for making me believe that every mannequin in a department store takes turns going on Rumspringa.
Sure. Yeah. No, that's exactly what I would have said too. I can't have Rem Springer instead. Mannequin. MANAQUEIN.
Sorry, no.
Yeah, I had no idea.
The correct spelling is MANNEQUIN.
And now I know. And knowing is half the battle.
It is
Yeah.
tricky, yes.
Wrong network. I'm sorry.
This is all about learning tonight. There's no judgment. I mean, there's a little bit of judgment, but you know. And Rod, would you like to give the next word to Benari?
Yes, I would. Benari, your word is radioactivity.
Oh man, that's a tough one. If I could hear it like in the context of a sentence, that would be
Sure,
awesome.
absolutely. I'll do you better than a sentence. I will now tell you, as succinctly as possible, how I classify the times. We live in a cesspool, a septic tank, a giant sewage complex in which runs the dregs, the filth, the misery-laden slop of the race of men. His hatreds, his prejudices, his passions, and his violence. And the keeper of this sewer? Man. He's a scientifically advanced monkey who walks upright and with eyes wide open into an abyss of his own making. His bombs, his fallout, his poisons, his radioactivity. Everything he designs as an art for dying is his excuse for living.
All right.
I feel like I need to applaud that.
Yeah. You don't happen to know the definition off the top of your head, though.
I would happen to know it, for I have notes that I can read off of. Radioactivity is a noun, the emission of ionizing radiation or particles caused by the spontaneous disintegration of atomic nuclei.
Oh, okay. Well, then that makes it clear.
Yes.
RADIOACTIVITY.
That is correct.
Radioactivity.
Yes.
All right.
Great.
Okay.
The definition brought it home for me.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Rod, you did that one so well. I think you should do the next word for Elena, if you don't mind.
Sure, absolutely. Elena, your word is microscopic.
Okay, I definitely need a definition.
Okay. The definition is, it is an adjective, so small as to be visible only with a microscope.
Okay, I love when the word is used in the definition.
It was not, actually. I said microscope. So the word, you are not technically...
God, give me a break.
Sassy.
Okay, I'm going to spell it. I'm going to just spell it. Microscopic is the word? Yes. Okay. MICROSCOPIC.
Correct.
That is correct. And I'm going to go ahead and give you the sentence anyway, because
Thank you. I needed it. I
have
got
the ability to do
flustered.
it. This has nothing to do with whether you need it or not. It is something that I feel the need to do. On a microscopic piece of sand that floats through space is a fragment of a man's life. Left to rust is the place he lived and the machines he used. There you go. We both won.
Poetry, really. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was that's from the end of the episode where that guy is sentenced to live on an asteroid because he committed murder on Earth, and they give him a robot to live with, but he doesn't accept that it's not a real woman until they shoot her in the face.
Yeah.
Well, spoiler alert, Danielle. I guess if anyone is 50 years behind on watching that episode, you've ruined it for them.
I'm so sorry to anyone who has not watched that episode yet.
Oh, I think it's closer to 70.
Yeah.
That's it was like the third episode. It's like one of the early
It's,
seasons.
Yeah.
it's actually closer to 60 years if you want to be technical, but yes.
Okay.
Moving on.
Yes, moving on. Back to you, Lizzy. Your next word is revelation.
Revelation. Okay, I definitely want a sentence for this.
Your sentence is, rewatching the episode, number 12 looks just like you, gives us disturbing revelation that Rod predicted Instagram face.
Wow. Okay, let's go ahead and get a definition also.
Sure. It is a noun, and it is a surprising and previously unknown fact, especially one that is made known in a dramatic way.
Okay, I'm gonna go for it.
Okay.
Revelation.
Correct.
Very
What a
well done.
revelation.
All right. Jonathan, are you ready?
Well, history says no, but let's forge forward optimistically.
I believe in you. Your word is companionship.
Companionship.
Yes.
Excellent word. If you could offer a definition for it.
It is a noun, a feeling of fellowship or friendship.
Sure, companionship.
Yeah.
Maybe use it in a sentence for me.
Sure, certainly. You see, we can feed the stomach with concentrates. We can supply microfilm for reading, recreation, even movies of a sort. We can pump oxygen in and waste material out. But there's one thing we can't simulate that's a very basic need. Man's hunger for companionship. The barrier of loneliness, that's one thing we haven't licked yet. Companionship.
Sure.
Yes.
Companionship. COMPAINSHIP?
No,
Companionship?
unfortunately, no. You spelled companionship, which, very relevant these days, but the correct spelling would be COMPANIONSHIP.
You're right. That would be the correct spelling.
Yes, it would be if you were spelling it the French way, as in la peine quotidienne, companionship, you would put the I next to the A, but this is America, at least for the next couple of weeks.
Rod, would you do me the pleasure of giving Benari his next word?
Yes, Benari, your word is avarice.
Avarice.
Oh, no, wait. I'm sorry. That's not the word.
That is not my word.
That's not your word.
While you're figuring out my word, I think I figured out what happened with Jonathan. It's a parallel universe. This is a Berenstain Bears situation.
It's a Mandela effect.
It's a Mandela
of course. Should have seen that.
Right. And the Benari in the other dimension, his word was avarice, but your word is avaricious.
Oh, right. Yeah, I definitely would need to hear that. Definitely want to hear that in a sentence.
Okay. Object known as a camera. Vintage, uncertain, origin unknown. But for the greedy, the avaricious, the fleet of foot who can run a 4-minute mile so long as they're chasing a fast buck, it makes believe that it's an ally, but it isn't at all. It's a beckoning come on for a quick walk around the block in the Twilight Zone.
There, you don't have a definition handy.
I do. You know that I do. Let's not be coy. It is an adjective, having or showing an extreme greed for wealth or material gain.
All right. AVA. Here's where it goes downhill. AVARICIOUS.
That is correct.
Well
Oh
done.
my God.
But
Done.
Terrific.
Okay, Elena, your word is comeuppance.
Okay, well, if history has taught me anything, I definitely need to hear it in a sentence.
Okay. All right. Your sentence is, I'm often torn between the satisfaction of Mr. Bartlett Finchley's necessary comeuppance and also my fear that machines will truly kill us all someday.
Okay. And a definition as well?
Sure. Comeuppance is a noun, and it is a punishment or fate that someone deserves.
Okay. Going out on a limb here. So I'm kind of torn, but I think it's COMEUPPANCE.
Yes. Well done. Correct.
Excellent.
Okay. And the next word is going back to Lizzy. Wow, we're already back to Lizzy. Okay. Rod is taking a short break, so I will give you this word.
I'm right here. I mean, that's fair. I understand if you want to do it, but let's not pretend that I need a break. I'm a professional.
Oh, you know what?
Union rules stay.
Yeah.
I wrote, produced, directed, and hosted the show. So
You know
Sounds
what?
like you need a break.
I'm doing great. I'm doing fine. Thank you. But if you want to feel important, you continue with the next word, please.
No, Rod, I think you should do this word. This is a very from a special
After all that.
I didn't
You two
mean
need
to
a minute?
guilt anybody into anything. Oh, okay, fine. All right. No, I've got it. All right. Lizzy, your word is
Yes.
allegiance.
Allegiance. All right, I'd love to hear a sentence, please, Rod.
All right. No
Sure.
friend in the world will ever offer you greater allegiance than Krusty the Talking Doll. I mean, Talking Tina.
Okay, and a definition?
Loyalty or commitment of a subordinate to a superior or of an individual to a group or cause.
Okay, here we go. Allegiance. ALLIEGANCE.
That is not correct.
Oh,
It is ALLEGIANCE. It seems that you have no allegiance to correctly spelling the word allegiance.
no, I don't.
But nice try. You were close.
No.
Yes.
So close.
Yes.
Rod, please tell Talkie Tina not to be mad at Lizzy.
I will do my best. Danielle, I'm a little bit concerned. Talking Tina is not real. That's a character in a story that we made. I want to be clear that you understand the difference between reality and fiction.
I saw her get herself out of a trash can that was tied up. So, I mean, I don't know.
If you want to go with she's fiction, that's fine, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Don't tell her I said that.
I mean, isn't this
Yeah.
exactly
Not
the
me.
kind of dilemma that
Yeah.
you proposed in the Twilight Zone itself?
Right.
Mm.
Nope. Okay, John, you are up. And I
Got to put some points on the board here. Give me something I can work with.
apologize deeply for this word then.
Oh.
Your word is xenophobia.
Okay. But before I prove I can spell this, why don't you use it in a sentence?
Sure. Forever distraught that the xenophobia in The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street is still incredibly relevant today.
Oof. Yeah, that cuts to the quick, doesn't it?
The downer.
But what exactly is relevant? The xenophobia means exactly?
Xenophobia is a noun and is the dislike of or prejudice against people from other countries.
That's it. Yeah, such a foreign concept to me that I had no idea what it meant.
Or other planets, in the case of our monster friends.
Yes.
Xenophobia. XENOPHOBIA.
And you're on the board.
Yes,
I'm not afraid of that answer.
excellently done, yes.
Nice.
All right, Benari,
Yes.
your word is relinquished.
All right. Well, here's where I get relinquished off the board, I think. If I could use that, and let's use that in a sentence, because mine was terrible.
Yes, it was. All right. Mr. Jesse Cardiff, who became a legend by beating one, but who was found out after his funeral that being the best of anything carries with it a special obligation to keep on proving it. Mr. Fats Brown, on the other hand, having relinquished the champion's mantle, has gone fishing. These are the ground rules in the Twilight Zone.
Sorry, they required me to say that. I'm just glad that Jonathan Winters finally got his rest, but if I could hear just the definition of it.
Yes, it is a verb. Voluntarily cease, to keep or claim, give up. So if you're going to relinquish your standing, you're going to deliberately take a dive on this word.
No, that's no good though, because
yes.
It's not, yeah.
Because if you do, it will be out of incompetence, not choice. Yes, go ahead and spell the word.
I understand. RELINQUISHED.
Yes.
Yes.
There you
You
go.
may relinquish your position yet, but this is not that moment, Mr. Poulten.
And the last word of round one goes to Elena, and it is ridiculous.
Okay. Hit me with a definition.
It is an adjective and is deserving or inviting derision or mockery. Absurd.
Okay. Getting a handle on things. And in a sentence?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, let me get into position for this one. Here we go. We hope you enjoyed tonight's romantic story on the Twilight Zone. At the same time, we want you to realize that it was, of course, purely fictional. In real life, such ridiculous nonsense could never.
Rod, you shouldn't say such things as nonsense and ridiculous.
Well, that's the way it goes. You have to imagine that where I didn't walk off screen. I did.
The production value is shit.
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay, ridiculous. RIDICULOUS.
Correct.
Ready.
It's also how you banish a Bogart. So
that's the end of round one. So give yourselves a hand. As we move on to round two, a couple of rule changes. There will be there will be no definitions and no sentences in this round. Rod and I will take turns giving out a word. If you raise your hand, if you're kind enough to raise your hand, we will call on you. If you get the word right, you will get 3 points. If you get it wrong, you will lose 1 point. And if you steal it from someone after they get it wrong, you'll get 6 points. So round two is, where we separate the spellers from the other spellers.
spellers from the texters.
So, okay, round two, and just to get all Jeopardy on you, the category is episode titles. So, Rod, why don't you give the first one?
All right, the first word of round two is time enough at last.
Lizzy.
Time enough at last. TIMENOUGHATLAST.
Yes. I suppose we are not requiring people to note when there is a space between.
I was wondering if I had to do that.
No,
technically what she just spelled is 10 minutes left.
Another great episode.
We are saving time by not separating the words. Great.
we do not require the space.
Now we have more time. Time now.
And then all of our Wi-Fi immediately goes out. Yes.
Just like that guy who
I was just thinking that.
We have to go to the store and finish the adult spelling bee.
Yeah, obviously.
The store.
I don't get this reference, but that's
You're not online. You're not a very online person. Don't worry about it.
I am,
You have to
no. It's hard to be online when you die before online becomes a thing. Yes.
That's actually, yes, Rod, how are you on a computer right now?
It's the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Ah,
This is. I feel like you haven't been paying attention to any of this. I'm tuning in from a fifth dimension.
Ah, right. That's right.
It's beyond.
Apologize. My fault.
Yes.
Beyond space.
So the next words of round 2 are black leather jackets. John.
Thank you. My hand disappeared into the swirl.
I submitted it before.
Black leather jackets. BLACK space LEATHER space JACKETS.
Correct.
There is no letter known as space. I'm afraid.
Can't win.
No. Just like America in the year 2020. Cannot win. And no matter who wins,
Somebody
all
loses.
Yes. All right, the next word or words. The next episode title is The 16mm Shrine. Jonathan.
Really? Okay.
You were the
16mm
first
shrine.
Yes. Yes.
SIXTEEN space MILLIMETER space shrine SHRINE.
All right, Danielle, that was all correct, but he left out an entire word of the title. So are we going to give it to him?
Oh no!
The title was The 16mm Shrine.
I think Elena wants to steal it.
All right,
Steal?
Elena.
Steal?
Go
Okay.
ahead.
The 16mm shrine. The THE 16 SIXTEEN millimeter MILLIMETR shrine SHRINE.
That is incorrect.
How did you? I just did it for you.
It's fat. Well,
My husband just said over my corner I forgot an E.
Yes.
you did. You did, and it's a good thing you've given that tip to whoever wants to steal the word next, Benari or Lizzy. Benari, yes.
Just for
No, actually, no.
clarification, this
Thank
is
you,
the
Elena. I feel so much better.
16mm shrine.
Yes. The shrine keeps getting bigger the longer we take this step, but it did begin at 16mm.
THE SIXTEEN space MILLIMETER space SHRINE.
Correct.
I was so hoping you'd get something else wrong.
That was really hard.
Well, I was trying to figure out if there was a dash between 16 and millimeter.
I'll be honest, Elena, thank you very much for making me feel like just that much less of an asshole.
I'm so sweaty. I'm so stressed out from that.
That was
You're all
really
doing
stressful.
great. We have like 15 more of these words in this round alone. So the next word, Danielle, yes.
The obsolete man. I think
I'm not
that's
raising my
right.
hand.
You just want to steal
The
another word.
obsolete man. THE space OBSOLETE space MAN.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Okay.
You are not obsolete.
Not obsolete.
No,
You're
not driving.
Yeah, you're really good at these Burgess Meredith episode titles.
Burgess Meredith was in like 6 different episodes, or maybe more.
Just the worst luck.
4.
But yeah,
Where's that?
but he does, get some revenge in The Obsolete Man.
Yes, and then he plays the devil.
Yes, and then he plays
Oh.
the devil.
And
Who
then he
doesn't
gets,
want to
The
play the
ultimate
devil?
revenge.
and he gets superpower. And then he gets superpowers in a bar.
I will
I got mine.
I will also point out that Fritz Weaver, who plays the Chancellor in the Obsolete Man, later goes on to play a not dissimilar character in Deep Space Nine. And he meets a similar end in both realities.
Wow.
Typecasting.
Hey, when you got a shtick, you stick with it.
I mean,
yes.
30 years later, is that typecasting?
Well, he was a Cardassian the second time around, so
No one deserves that.
No.
Can't keep up with them.
okay. The next word is once upon a time.
John.
Really? Once upon a time, ONCE space UPON space A space TIME.
You forgot the. It was the. No, that was correct. That was correct. Danielle, back to you.
Okay. Where is everybody? Benari.
Lizzy.
I think that was Lizzy.
I think it was Lizzy. She hasn't gotten one yet. Let's
All
get
right, Lizzy, go.
Oh, Rod, thank you.
You're welcome.
Where is everybody?
I don't know. That's
Great question.
just. I have no answers for you. Just spell the title.
WHERE space IS space EVERYBODY.
Yes. Yes. Actually, I believe the answer is everybody is at home.
Hopefully.
It better be.
Better
It's a
be.
pandemic that I didn't even predict.
No.
Oh, you did.
I did.
Well, actually, maybe not so certain terms, but there was one where we were all. Actually, no. I'm sorry. It was the one where like this, we were. The Earth was rotating closer and closer to the sun.
Yes, I had a feeling that's what you were thinking of. And she's freezing to death, but it turns out she's actually overheating to death. Yes. However, there was a Deep Space Nine episode. An outbreak of a pandemic. So,
Rod, did you write on Deep Space Nine?
I did not,
Okay.
but I am a fan of the genre. I'm a fan of the genre. And
I
you
love
have
that.
a lot of time to binge watch after death, so I've been catching up.
If you're going to do a theme show, Deep Space Nine is a good one. So, throw that out there.
All right. The next episode is a stop at Willoughby. Willoughby, next stop at Willoughby. I'm sorry. Let me just make it clear that the
That's
title
a very
episode
long
is only
title.
A Stop at Willoughby. A stop at Willoughby. Or as Benari might say, a stop at Willoughby.
Rod is sassy.
Yes.
I saw Lizzy.
Okay. A stop at Willoughby. A space STOP space AT space WILLOUGHBY.
Wow. Nicely done.
Willoughby.
Yes, Willoughby.
Hey.
Next up, Willoughby. All right, wait, I think I have it for you right. Nope, that's the wrong one. I did have a, oh, there it is. There we go.
Oh, lovely.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
Willoughby.
Right.
That's I have a every time I'm on a train, which actually I haven't been on a train really lately, but when I used to be on a train and someone would call out stops in my head, I was always like Willoughby.
There's a Myrtle Willoughby on the G.
There's the Myrtle.
There is a Willoughby in Brooklyn.
There is.
And it's
Every
always the next
time-
stop.
Every time I see it, I think of death. That is what it is.
Very
All right.
interesting. Okay. Next is I Sing the Body Electric.
Benari.
I space SING space THE space BODY space ELECTRIC.
Yes. Now, for a bonus point, can you sing The Body Electric?
You knew the electric slide.
Do the hustle?
Look, I'm not here to teach you the electric slide. I asked.
Very good.
I sing the body electric.
And then get hit by a car. And the
What?
little girl gets really sad.
Oh, that's this episode written by Ray Bradbury. Raymond Bradbury.
Oh.
Yes. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm supposed to be giving the next episode. To serve man.
John.
To serve man. Okay. T-O space S-E-R-V-E space M-A-N.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
And it's a cookbook. I mean, someone's got to say it.
Yeah, so
To serve man delicious foods. Yeah, that's exactly what it says.
man, it's a cookbook.
There's a bit of dust on it, that's all.
Yes.
I love how like that, I feel like that guy could totally get off, and it's such like a clumsy way of like getting him up on the shuttle, because he's only like up 2 steps, but for some reason he's
Just jump off.
Yeah.
jumped up like 5 more steps into the spaceship. And I'm
I
like,
also feel like there's a certain contingent of people that say, yeah, it's a cookbook, but come on. And then go on anyway.
I know.
You know, just to own them, to troll them.
Going to get eaten by the aliens to own the libs.
Yes.
Why not?
Okay. The next one is, this is one of my favorites in like a weird way, which I'll explain after, but quite a few words in this title. Nervous man in a $4 room. Benari.
Nervous space MAN space IN space A space FOUR space DOLLAR space ROOM.
Correct.
Yes, you are more committed to that bit than my contemporary Gene Roddenberry was committed to not giving women a lick of agency on his show.
All about the commitment.
Yes. He was not. All right. The next episode title is Nick of Time.
John.
Jonathan.
Okay. Nick of Time. NICK space OF space TIME.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Just
I was worried there was some like funny Nick in there, but
Well, trick
Yeah.
Nick.
Picnic.
or KNICK. It could have been a basketball episode.
Could have
Another Shatner episode.
been. Okay.
Oh wait, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know the episode titles.
It's the little devil machine.
Yeah.
Going in.
Asking the question.
I love that machine, how like the so many wives in so many of the episodes are like these long suffering wives, but also some of them are like in Time Enough at Last, that wife, I want to drop kick her out the window.
Bill
Yes.
Harridan, yeah.
But in Nick of Time where she's
Why are you so mean?
To be fair, he's not a great husband, but yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I created a trope I like to call the Twilight Zone marriage, which is where you watch a relationship between two people and you go, how in God's name did these two people ever end up together? And the answer is because it makes for better television.
You're
Otherwise
mostly
known as
rooting
soap
for one of
operas.
the people in the relationship to die.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, a lot of marriages in contemporary America are that way too. So
True.
Especially in the 60s.
Fiction reference.
Yes, contemporary America of the 60s. Danielle, would you like to give the next word?
I would love to. It is, I shot an arrow into the air. Elena.
Okay. I feel like I must redeem myself, and I don't know if I can. But I shot an arrow into the air. I space SHOT space AN space ARROW space INTO space THE space AIR.
Nailed it.
Yes.
Okay, back in the game.
Nice.
Got the yips.
All right. Very good. The next one, a most unusual camera. Lizzy.
A space MOST space UNUSUAL space CAMERA.
Yes.
Awesome.
Excellent.
We are running low on time, so we're going to do 2 more words in this round. I'll give one, and then Rod will give the last one.
I think we should give them all at once, and then it's both a memory test.
Okay. Your word is long distance call. John.
Long distance call. LONG. I forget if long distance has a hyphen. I'm going to say no, so space. EISTANCE space CALL.
Correct.
You made the right call.
Okay.
Very good. Now, the answer is not in Eye of the Beholder. To be clear, it's just Eye of the Beholder is the title. I should stop being clever. Yes, Benari. I believe your hand was first.
EYE
Yes.
space OV space THE space
Yes.
BEHOLDER.
No, that is incorrect.
Did not believe you.
Yeah.
I thought I was hearing things.
Did you know what you did wrong?
Watched Rod's face, and Rod's face was like,
Yes. Actually, we gave you the benefit of the doubt earlier when you spelled the word in as what sounded like I am, but we cannot give you the benefit of the doubt on this one. Who would like to steal?
Elena.
Elena had it.
Elena.
Okay. Eye of the Beholder. Okay. I'm choking though. Okay. EYE space OF space THE space BEHOLDER.
Yes. Benari, I will tell you what you did. You spelled OV.
OF.
Phonetically said the word instead of spelling it OF.
OV? Oh my god.
OV.
It happens.
It's not in the Eye of the Beholder.
OVG.
We could not accept.
Well, while I tally scores, Rod, why don't you ask everyone to talk about their favorite episodes?
Yes. All right. Who would like to talk to me about your favorite episodes? Or we can bitch about sponsors. Who likes to say who their least favorite Twilight Zone sponsor was?
Camel cigarettes. God damn them.
I mean,
Is that what you're smoking now though, Rob?
I
No.
think an underrated episode that has to deal with Rod hating the sponsors is the one with Shakespeare. It's one of the hour long. It's too long of an episode. It should be just like a 22-minute one. But,
okay, watch it, buddy.
I mean, look, you stretched it and you made
Okay,
you made
this
lots of.
comment should have been
He had a mandate from
going
the
on
from
way
the.
longer, so we'll call it even. Go ahead.
But Burt Reynolds crushes it,
Yes.
doing a fantastic, it's like spot on Marlon Brando.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes, he does. Yes. Yes.
I
So
mean,
I
after hours for me. Sorry.
After hours.
Yeah.
I have a soft spot for 2 episodes because I had to do projects on them in high school, and it's one of them is one we've already mentioned, which is Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. But the other one, I think, Rod Serling. Rod Serling is
Sterling. Yes.
Sterling, I'm sorry.
Sterling Silver.
No.
He's ahead of his time in so many ways, and just this one episode, he somehow managed to make an Eminem reference. Which I love, and it's Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up?
Terrific episode.
Yes.
Great, that's great.
Point of order on that. I was not preemptively making an Eminem reference. Eminem was referencing me. That's how time works.
Causality.
I
What are you
don't know,
talking about?
yeah.
Also, there was already a phrase, but yes, will the real Martian please stand up? An excellent episode and very similar to Monsters Who Do on Maple Street. I like to call it the comedy version.
Much funnier. It's much funnier considering that everyone in that episode dies.
Yeah.
So everyone's murdered. It ends with everyone being murdered.
That's true.
That's not
Very
true.
dark.
The aliens survived.
It ends with all the humans being murdered.
Yes, all of the humans are, yes, and the world is better for it.
Dime a dozen, really. I mean, there's so many of them.
'cause the Venusians got there first.
Although also, I would like to point out that in Monsters 2 on Maple Street, that's where that's headed.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Everyone is also going to die.
Sure.
Right.
But
They're
it's
probably gonna kill
sadder
each
and there has
other.
it's more dramatic and has less murder.
Yeah. Yes.
Fair.
Why
yeah.
is that appealing? Less murder. Come on.
It's not. I love Will the Real Martian stand up. You have comedy and murder. It's fantastic. What's not to love?
That's what's better than that. We have our top two to go to the lightning round, and it is Jonathan Lee and Benari Poulten,
Oh,
which
Oh, right.
makes sense because of the whole Twilight Zone connection that you two have. So
Jonathan Lee.
also
Yeah, I
makes
mean, you just do
sense.
yours in reverse.
It also
Dr.
makes
Who.
sense because this is, after all, the Twilight Zone spelling bee, and it would only be appropriate for two white men in the final round.
In my defense, I'm Jewish, so I don't know if I count. But
But then I am as well. So then, does it count twice?
Well, are you talking about in 2020 or are you talking about in 1960? Because the rules are constantly
same.
shifting on that. one.
fungible. I mean,
I feel like really there.
ouch.
okay,
I'm gonna count it.
All right, fair enough.
the rules for lightning rounds. Actually, let's see. Benari, you had the most points, so you get to decide whether you want to go first or second.
I would like to go second.
I'd like to go second. Great. Okay.
The power position.
Yes. So you'll each take turns.
That's what Gene Roddenberry called it.
You know.
Right. Sorry, go ahead.
So John, you will go first, but Benari, just so you're aware of the rules as well. John, I will be giving you your words, one word at a time. Rod will be keeping time. He doesn't have a cell phone, but he's going to be watching the hands of his clock to give us.
Dolly-S clock that could be multi.
Hourglass.
Cell phone is too futuristic for me, but the computer and the Wi-Fi and the Zoom and the background, that I'm able to access. Yes. It's 1 minute, right?
Yes, and so you're allowed to pass twice. You will get 1 point for every word that you spell correctly. And if something sounds like a homonym, like say the word blue, just spell it correctly in one way that you think of, and that'll count, even if that's not the way it was intended, still will count for us. And yeah, and obviously Benari, same goes for you when you go, but Benari
So
will...
OV counts in this round.
Yeah,
Okay.
totally a homonym. And Benari, I just ask that you turn your volume down while we do John, and then I'll wave like this for you to come back. Cool. Okay, John, Rod will start the timer after I give you the first word. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. The
THE.
best
BEST.
laid
LAID.
plans
PLANS.
of
OF.
mice
MICE.
and
AND.
men
MEN.
and
AND.
Henry
HENRY.
Bemis,
EEEMUS.
the
THE.
small
SMALL.
man
MAN.
in
IN.
the
THE.
glasses
GLASSES.
who
WHO.
wanted
WANTED.
nothing
NOTHANG.
but
BUT.
time
TIME.
Henry
HENRY.
Bemis.
Beemus.
Now.
No, we're out
NOW.
of time.
All right.
Do I get that last one?
You did get that last one. It was right on the. Yeah.
Okay, great.
All right.
Okay, so let's wait for Benari to come back.
Ooh.
Okay, and you've got it on the clock. Right.
I will,
All right. Sorry, I was
1 second.
humming the Cantina theme to keep me distracted. So do 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 do.
Nice. Okay, Benari, I will start the clock as soon as Rod gives you your first word.
Are you ready?
Nope. Let's go.
Are you done being clever? Are we ready to go on to the spelling? Okay, great. Here we go. Late.
LATE.
Summer.
SUMMER.
A.
8.
A.
A.
There we go. Tree.
TREE.
Lined.
Blind.
Lined.
Lined. LINED.
Little.
LITTLE.
World.
WORLD.
Of.
OF.
Front.
FRONT.
Porch.
PORCH.
Gliders.
LIGHTERS.
No, sorry, gliders.
GLIDERS.
Barbecues.
BARBECUES.
The.
TAG.
Laughter.
LAUGHTER.
Time.
Ah, we'll give you that one.
I'm crying.
Elena, you jealous? You want to do that yourself?
I'm super jealous, but I also just, the disconnect was wild.
You don't have time to process what it's adding up to.
So our winner tonight is Jonathan Lee.
Yay!
Yes!
A comfort
Redemption!
behind victory.
I want to thank everybody who believed in me, and the big man upstairs. It's Alphonse on the 5th floor. He does jumping jacks at 2 a.m. But all right.
All right, so I actually do have some exciting news, however. So usually I donate to the winner's choice. However, tonight, because we were sponsored by Knack Factory, they gave me some money, so I'm going to donate to all of yours.
Yay!
Thank you.
John, I'm just going to give the most to yours because you won.
I was going to say, so Jonathan, your victory is meaningless. Charities are getting donated to.
Elena, Lizzy, Benari, I'm going to give a smaller amount to the 3 of your organizations as well.
Thank you so much.
Honestly, it's our victory because of this. So thank you, Knack Factory. Well done.
Yes, thank you.
They're the real heroes here.
Sounds like they have a real knack for charity.
Yes. So, let me tell everyone where you can find out more about them at knack-factory.com. So yes, once again, thank you to Knack Factory for making this possible because I'm unemployed. So this is exciting and fun.
It's funny because everything is terrible.
Oh, it's a whirlpool of misery.
Yes.
Time is meaningless, and this we're all in a.
Yes.
And before we say a good night, let's tell everyone where they can find us if you so wish to be found on the interwebs. John, our winner, where can people find you if you want them to find you?
I really wish I had something to plug. You know what? My friend has started a new coffee company. It's called New Wave. He's selling flow state coffee. The idea is it's a nootropic / coffee company. Find them online, NOOWAVE. I think it's to help creativity and sort of like reduce sort of like the stress of trying to start new projects. So
nice. And Benari, our very, very super close runner-up, where can people find you?
They can find me on the intranets on Twitter and Instagram at Benari Lee, BENARILEE.
Nice. Okay. And Lizzy, how about you?
You can find me on Twitter at the Dirtbird, THEDIRTBIRD.
No
Elena,
space.
how about you?
No space.
You can find me on Twitter or Instagram with a handle that's freakishly close to yours, and I always think you're me, but it's at ELESHEPP, so Ellie Sheppard.
It's true. We are very similar.
Yes.
And Rod, maybe you can tell us where we can find Megan Sass online?
Yes. At Megan, MEGAN _ Sass, SASS.
Nice.
You can also find them at Megan Sass on Facebook, etc.
Nice. And so also before we go, I want to read a thing because taking the week off next week because obviously we have a very big election and I figure our focus will be elsewhere, and so I will pick back up with an episode the following week, but everyone should vote if you haven't already or have a plan to vote. But I just want to read something that Rod Serling says at the end of The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. The tools of conquest do not necessarily come with bombs and explosions and fallout. There are weapons that are simply thoughts, ideas, prejudices to be found only in the minds of men. For the record, prejudices can kill and suspicion can destroy. A thoughtless, frightened search for a scapegoat has a fallout all its own for the children and the children yet unborn. And the pity of it is that these things cannot be confined to the Twilight Zone. So, just wanted to read that. Not to end on a downing note, but like, so, but yeah, we love the Twilight Zone, and thank you to Knack Factory, and thank you to all of you for playing tonight, because it's so fun to nerd out.
Thank you for creating it. It's so much fun.
Thank you.
For
This is
having me.
awesome.
Yes, a round of applause for Danielle. Yes.
Thanks, everybody.
Yes.
So yes, I loved nerding out with all of you about the show because I love the show. It's been one of my favorites forever. And yeah, I'm gonna probably go watch a few episodes before I go to bed tonight. Anyways, and thank you to everyone on Facebook for watching, and this will be up on YouTube tomorrow. And yeah, we'll see you the next episode, not next week, after the election, the week after. The theme is Psych, the TV show. So yeah, which will be super fun. Okay, we'll talk to you all later. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Vote. Please. Please vote.
Please vote.